Hi, I'm Lou with another episode of My Car Story, and today is a real treat for you. I'm here with John Weinberger.
Thank you. Nice to be here with you.
And we are in John's gallery of cars. And to give you an idea, John is the president and CEO of Continental Motors, which as a teenager with my license for the first time, John's dealership at the time was, it still is on Ogden Avenue, right off of 294. And I couldn't help but look at his dealership, the Ferrari dealership, every time I've gone through that. I still don't know what's on the north side of the street. So with that being said, we're in his gallery. What a treat. And today, John, we're not only videoing one of your cars, but you call this one the big dog of all the cars.
Well, yeah, I call it the big dog because I think it's the most expensive one that I have. I have around the gallery here maybe 15, 20 cars, and I call them big dogs, medium dogs, and puppies. And so I have maybe half a dozen puppies, and then most of them are medium dogs, and I have two alpha dogs, big dogs.
Yeah.
This is the biggest dog because I pay the most money for it. So I always give it number one spot.
Number one spot. So
Yeah.
the number one spot in the gallery, what's the car that we're going to be looking at today?
Well, this is a 166M Vignale Spyder made in 1953 for racing. It's a race car, and they only made 6 cars like this.
Wow.
I think 5 survived, and a couple of them are in Europe. One of them is in Wisconsin, and this one, and it's a really special car because there is no other one with a body like this. And the fact that they only made 6 of them, and all 6 or 5 of them survived this far, is quite a story. And so I liked it because I'm a small person, and this is a small cockpit, and it's a lightweight car, and it handles, and it's powerful, and makes a lot of good Ferrari noises, and I like the color too.
Yeah. Let me just come on over. We're going to get to the car in just a minute, but we're looking at a 1953 Ferrari 166M, and here they are pushing it out of the factory. So this is the most certified of these, and here's kind of its birth certificate, if you will.
Lou, only one that's been certified by the factory.
The only one. This is it.
Yes.
And what was the restoration time?
Year and a half. It was a year and a half at the factory in Maranello.
Let's go right to our featured big dog. So let me start off right in the front. So in 1953, and I'm curious, John, I don't know the history of this, but Ferrari started in, what was it, 48?
Yes, in 1948.
So were they always race cars?
At that time they were. I think they made a few customer cars but as I remember in 48, 49, 50, they were in the racing business, period. They were just a race car. And then in order to afford to make more race cars, he got into the production cars only to be able to afford to race.
Yeah.
So they were really a company that was producing cars for the public. But he would only make the chassis. Ferrari only make the chassis, and he would ship the chassis to Vignale or to several different Pininfarina or whatever to make the body. This particular one was made by Vignale, and Vignale then got into the production for Ferrari with passenger cars. So they made coupes, and they went on and made quite a few cars. But in these early years, they only made race cars.
And this is I'm going to get a shot of the car from the side. So the M, come with me, share with me, and we're going to see some of that stamping on the engine. What does the M stand for? You told me that.
Well, the M means when you get an M behind a number at Ferrari, it's made for racing. It's modified. It's a racing car. It's not a passenger car. So anything that doesn't have an M behind it is not a race car. It's a passenger car. And so when you see a car, a 250M or 275M, any of those, they're racing cars. And they made this in a 166 and a 225 and a 250, but they only made 6 of these.
That's wonderful. Love the,
The Barani hubcaps.
yes, fantastic. There you go.
They're beautiful in themselves.
They are. They're just art. Tell me about the hood here. Tell me about that.
This indentation in the hood is really functional. The air comes into the radiator and goes through the engine, and then it exhausts itself out. This is a vent underneath, and it's built up like that so the air can flow right out through the hood. And I'm going to open that up for you so you can see
Yes.
what that's like. But it keeps the heat flowing through and not into the cockpit, but into the air. This engine is, as I said, a 166, means it's 166 cubic inches per cylinder. Not cubic inches, cubic centimeters, I'm sorry. And this has 3 4-barrel carburetors on it. These are one, in essence, a carburetor per cylinder. And these are very, very rare. Can't find these engines or carburetors like this. But because it was a racing car, they did all the hot rod speed parts to it right away. This car, has all of the original, even the color of the gas lines and the wiring, and it's just built exactly like it was when it came out in 1953.
I'm really taking my time, John, on this engine because there are so many. Look at the wiring and the braiding. I'll zoom in on that. And that's all done to the specifications of Ferrari in that time.
Yep.
Look at the beautiful hosing here. And I'm going to do that so that people can actually read the horn. And there's actually a second prop. You can see there's a prop there, and then there's a second prop. So if you're on either side of the engine, you can see that. Now, John, I did notice something. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a second kind of reservoir here. Is that for the oil? You see how there's...
Yes, that's an oil radiator.
You got air here and oil radiator.
Yeah, this one is the oil radiator.
Okay.
Sits next to the water radiator, and it cools the oil.
I'm noticing there's one of those 166Ms that you'll see there. Right there.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And let me just get there's one other 166M that I'm seeing, and even on the valve cover, if you look closely, which I'll show you, you can see the number for the cylinders. So obviously a 12-cylinder car.
Yeah, I don't know if you need any more light.
Yeah, no, more light's good. Sure. No, go ahead, put that up there. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. There's the 166. Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
And even like, just put the light right towards
Yeah.
that. Yeah. The detail, we'll be able to maybe both read for the first time. And we'll just do this one. And the last one.
And those even have numbers on them.
Yes, that's what you'll be able to see those numbers in your full screen on your computer, John, when we get done with this video.
And then the Webers,
Yeah.
Weber tags on them. They're all numbered.
Yeah, let's go to the last one. It's such a, let me just zone in on that. Such a treat. And I see, can you put the light right back here? I see one more 166. See it there?
Mm-hmm.
And there's another 166M down there. Oh, it's wonderful. Look at that. Let's put the light right down here so we can see all the way down. Yeah. Like so. So this is the oil filler.
Yep.
And then what are these two twin things?
These are the reservoirs for the brake cylinders. Have 2 brake cylinders.
Two brake
One
cylinders.
for the rear, one for the front.
Okay.
And those are the reservoir.
How about
This
this?
fuel pump
Fuel pump?
and distributor
Steering
on
box.
each side, two
Oh, yeah,
distributors.
okay, I didn't notice
One
that
for
first.
each side,
One-
one for 6 and the other one for the other 6.
Okay, yeah, there they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then the radiator. All right, let me take a look at the interior. And we've got our water gauge. Let me just show that picture as well. And wonderful, you know, the mirror is connected there. And the tack.
Yeah, and this special
Yeah, show me that key.
special key
That's
oops, is the Classic K certification for this car from the factory. And they only give you one key ring.
And tell me why that's, I know this answer, but for the people who are listening, why is that a big deal?
Well, it shows that the factory has approved this as an original, not a facsimile of a car.
Yeah.
It is an original car, was built by the factory, which puts kind of a
Stamp of
on it.
approval, stamp of
And then-
approval.
And then the factory, along with that, produces a book of all of the photos of the car.
Yeah,
And as it's going through its restoration, and then a certificate of Classic K, you know.
that's
And,
wonderful.
So,
Let me get that.
and that's an original key, original Magnet Morelli key. See, that's kind of a logo. Let's see if it's flamer on this side. Magnet Morelli.
See if I get that. Yep, I got it.
All those little things
Yeah, that make it
that make
special.
it special, yeah.
Is that far switch that I'm looking at, is it the turn signal?
Yeah.
Okay, and then a grab bar, and you can see the interior here as I pull out. And the seats are wonderful. I mean, let's just get the pedals. What's the button in the shifter for?
Reverse lockout.
Reverse lockout.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Let me just get the back of the car. And even showing the back of the car, there's some neat venting pieces that, as we take a little closer look, you can see in the back wheel. So let me give you one more shot of the back and the side of the car. Now, John, usually I wouldn't go into the trunk compartment, but let's do that because you've got kind of some neat pieces here too. Just look at how these open up.
Sure, these are the little special clips that there's no lock, it's just kind of held in by a spring. And then
I'm gonna dig your fingers into it.
your fingers under there. And then we have a little flop here. And a spare tire and a gas tank. This is the gas tank
Look at the size of that.
here. And
Fuel hole.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a big racing fuel tank.
Smells
It's a
good.
20-gallon tank, and all aluminum.
And we won't break into all the parts, but
Yeah.
here's your toolbox.
These
And
are
more
the
tools.
tool bag, and down there is a jack, you know, and the original color of those accessories. And
Love this leather belt holding this in.
yeah,
That's great.
This tool bag is kind of unique because you probably won't find another one or two in the whole world for a tool bag like this, because it has the original old tools,
Wow,
grease gun and that kind of thing.
that's great. No words. That's wonderful. The hammer, occasionally I use that on a passenger, just bang.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, wonderful. All right, the next, and we'll button that up. While you're doing that, I'm just noticing this bar here that people can hold on to, which is kind of unique from this side. And I'll give you just a little more of the
I would
gauges.
call that the sissy bar.
Okay, yeah.
Sissy bar.
I'd be holding on to that, John, I'm sure. I'd qualify. All right, we're gonna shut the boot compartment, or the trunk. I guess that would be a European, an English thing, you call it a boot, the trunk. Let's hear the symphony. Let's hear it sing.
Sorry.
Let's hear it sing. Let's start it up.
Let's fire it up, sure.
Now we're indoors, so we won't start it too long, but. That's nice. That's nice.
That's a lot of cylinders.
That's a lot of cylinders. That was a surprise.
And it fired right up, you know.
It's beautiful.
Fired right up, you know. No, it runs perfect. It just runs perfect.
Come on out, John.
Yeah.
Boy, that sounded like a wonderful 50s race car. Even if you weren't sure if you liked a Ferrari, once that starts, you say, okay, we're gonna get one. Well, let's shut that hood for a moment,
Okay?
and we'll have you stand right next to the big dog.
Yeah, this is my retirement policy.
John, always a treat seeing you. Thanks so much for letting us come to your home and your gallery, and thanks for showing us the big dog.
Well, I'm happy you were interested enough to come and take pictures and do some work on this, on the facts, and it's one you won't see anywhere else.
Thanks so much, John.
Okay, thank you.